So we wait for the 5 lights, and it's lights out and away we go. Max Verstappen gets away well from Charles Leclerc, and already George Russell is alongside Carlos Sainz. Into turn 1 we go. It's Verstappen from Leclerc. Sainz goes off the track. Russell goes through. Sainz comes back on just behind George Russell. Then Sergio Perez, Esteban Ocon and Kevin Magnussen on the run now down towards turn 3. Sainz has got ahead of George Russell. Verstappen leads from Leclerc. Then comes Sainz. Then Russell. Sergio Perez might make a move here because George Russell got slightly pinched by the Ferrari. The drag now down towards turn 4, and the 2 Ferraris pulling clear of that Mercedes. Verstappen pulling clear of Charles Leclerc. On the inside goes George Russell and Sergio Perez, and they touch, and Perez is spun round and off into the gravel, and you can see that coming from halfway down the straight.
George Russell has got a 5-second penalty for causing that collision.
Nothing I could do, he just turned into me.
You can see that Mick Schumacher ahead now of Lewis Hamilton up in the 7th place. So they brought George Russell in. He'll serve that 5-second time penalty before they can work on the changing of the tyres. As down the inside goes Charles Leclerc on Max Verstappen. Oh, and did that catch Max Verstappen napping a little bit, because he certainly wasn't expecting Charles Leclerc to come down the inside. That was a brilliant move. Verstappen back out on the hard tyre in 8th place behind Lando Norris.
He is, but he's also then behind, obviously, Sainz, Ocon, Magnussen, Mick Schumacher, and down to Lewis Hamilton.
There is Lewis Hamilton right behind Mick Schumacher. It's like a repeat of yesterday's sprint, but is Mick Schumacher starting to struggle on his tyres a bit, and is Hamilton trying to dive down the inside at turn 8. What a place to make an overtake. Don't often see him there. Hamilton back up ahead of the Haas. Lewis Hamilton with DRS now has got Kevin Magnussen in his sights, and the Haas hasn't got that gap in the rear wing, so Hamilton's got 10 mile an hour extra speed because of the DRS, and that very much helps him to clear not 1 but 2 Haas cars within the space of 1 lap. Hamilton, without pitting so far, up into 4th place.
At the moment, Verstappen has still sort of got a net lead in this race, and he needs to clear people like Lewis very quickly indeed.
And that was a very nice piece of car placement from Lewis Hamilton. Verstappen on the fresher tyres gets a good exit out of turn 3. They are wheel to wheel before they head to the braking zone into turn 4. And Verstappen, after being thwarted for a couple of corners, does get past the Mercedes. Alonso's going to go for it, is he? No, not quite. Into turn 9, but Joe goes wide, and for 1 second the door almost opens to Fernando Alonso. This is absolutely brilliant. Experience against youthful exuberance.
Yeah, but that's left Fernando Alonso because he had a slow exit. Oh, well, there's 3 abreast now. Extraordinary.
Kevin Magnussen now gets past Fernando Alonso, and do you know what? Zhou Guanyu is right in the thick of that as well, as is Lando Norris, as is Mick Schumacher. 3 become 5 into turn 3. In goes Magnussen, round the outside goes Norris. Surely they don't make contact. Yes, they don't make contact, but Norris does go off the road as he now tries to get past Kevin Magnussen. So Magnussen 8th, Norris 9th. Here comes Lando Norris round the outside at turn 4. Late braking for Kevin Magnussen. Alonso's still ahead of now Mick Schumacher and Zhou Guanyu right at the tail end of this quintet. And Lando Norris is still going for it with Kevin Magnussen, and that is just epic. Charles Leclerc, 12 laps that he has fresher rubber. He comes out behind Verstappen, but should be faster when those tyres warm up. As here goes Lewis Hamilton towards turn 3 with Esteban Ocon, and Hamilton gets that move done before they hit the braking zone in the apex of the corner. And here's a warning for Max Verstappen. Charles Leclerc's about 2 car lengths behind you, but I think he knows it. I think he's seen it. And I don't think he really wants to fight this one, because he knows that he hasn't really got the machine underneath him to fight this one. And certainly with 12 laps fresher tyres, Charles Leclerc has one of his more simpler overtakes on Max Verstappen. You know, yesterday Mick Schumacher was saying, I'm faster than my teammate, I'm faster than Kevin Magnussen. He's proving it at the moment. In for a second stop comes Max Verstappen, and he wasn't really enjoying life on those hard compound tyres. So what goes on, Martin? Another set of hard compound tyres. Oh, and off goes Sebastian Vettel for the 2nd time this weekend. Sebastian Vettel finds himself in the grass, and a 5-second penalty for Pierre Gasly for causing that collision with Sebastian Vettel.
He has to give up that corner. I had the nose ahead. What is wrong with these people?
Ferrari, I think they've got the pace to cover Red Bull with any strategy. Well, we're going to find out.
Red Bull just haven't had an answer to the Ferrari pace. And look how easy it is for Charles Leclerc to get up to the back of that Red Bull, but Verstappen is forcing him the long way round at turn 3. So Leclerc goes for the old switcheroo, forces Verstappen to go a bit wide on the exit, and then he is through on the inside to retake the lead of this race. Charles Leclerc back in front of Max Verstappen. And on the run down,
What's
comfortably ahead.
Ferrari
Oh no, the engine's gone! The engine's gone for Carlos Sainz. And whilst he was looking at an overtake on Max Verstappen, he has been undone by a power unit problem. And this is the moment that Carlos Sainz hopes of another podium in Formula One, went with Ferrari's 4th mechanical failure in a race this season. George Russell trying to make a move past Esteban Ocon at turn 3, and we've seen that little switcheroo to great effect, and to very good effect for George Russell. So he puts his Mercedes up into 4th where he started this race. Charles Leclerc started 2nd in the race today. He sees the checkered flag, and for the first time, other than when he's on pole, he takes victory. Charles Leclerc wins the Austrian Grand Prix, and Max Verstappen, after taking maximum points in the sprint yesterday, settles for 2nd place.
And P1!
Yes, sir! Yes! Oh! Yes, come on!
But that is now half-time officially in the Formula One World Championship. Ferrari are still in it, Max Verstappen still leads it, and these two still scrapping it out and smiling. Charles Leclerc, your winner today.